Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say the past 11 days have been really tough.
Look at somebody like Ellen, who literally is sitting on a pile of $60 billion. And then
could feed countries.
Right. And then
But you got a Porsche.
I mean, you're not hurting. You live beautifully.
Ellen DeGeneres spent years building one of the most powerful images in Hollywood. She was known as the Queen of Kindness, the daytime TV icon who danced with audiences, gave away huge prizes, and told millions of viewers to be kind to one another. But behind that polished image, controversy, shocking accusations, celebrity connections, and personal tragedies slowly started changing the way people looked at her forever. Now, after leaving America for the UK and claiming she was done with the US, Ellen has suddenly returned with a massive $27 million mansion in Montecito. So what really happened behind the scenes? And why are so many people still questioning the story around her rise, her friendships, and her sudden comeback? Let's break it all down. After packing up her entire life and moving to the UK in November 2024, Ellen suddenly flipped the script and quietly returned to the US with her wife, Portia. And she did not come back low-key either.
Look at somebody like Ellen, who literally is sitting on a pile of $60 billion. And then
could feed countries.
Right. And then
But you got a Porsche.
I mean, you're not hurting. You live beautifully.
Wait, that's really funny. I just noticed that. Sorry, I have to put a pin in it. I realized that Ellen drove and then she married one. The hilarious thing is that all she wanted was money, and then she ends up marrying a person named Portia. Portia even asked me about Ellen before, Portia came to my wedding because I was on Ellen McBeal with her. And Portia even said, I'm going to go after Ellen. I know you're not. I'm like, but you won't be the poster child, girl, because guess what? That poster child has already been taken. And by the way, it wasn't a great spot. But yours ain't going to be any easier. And I'm telling you now, like, red flag, red flag.
She reportedly picked up a massive $27 million mansion in Montecito, which shocked a lot of people because not too long ago, she was saying America was completely behind her. Ellen even left right before the 2024 election and made it very clear she had no plans to come back while Trump was still president. Meanwhile, over in England, she was showing off this calm new lifestyle with chickens, horses, and peaceful countryside energy like she had finally found her perfect escape. But now, Ellen is back in America anyway, even though the situation she once complained about really has not changed much at all. Trump is still in office, her public image still carries heavy backlash, and the talk show empire that made her one of the biggest names on TV is already finished. That is why a lot of people started questioning if the Ellen viewers saw on screen was ever the full picture. Once people began digging deeper into her inner circle, the behind-the-scenes drama, and the stories from former staff members, the situation started looking way more complicated than anybody expected. For years, Ellen carefully built an image around kindness, positivity, dancing with the audience, giving away huge prizes, and ending every episode by reminding people to be kind to one another. That formula worked perfectly for a long time and helped pull in millions of loyal viewers every single day. But in 2020, the entire narrative suddenly cracked wide open. BuzzFeed published a major expose where former employees described the workplace as toxic, with accusations involving racism, fear, intimidation, and uncomfortable behavior behind the scenes. After the reports exploded online, an internal investigation reportedly followed, and 3 senior producers left the show over misconduct allegations. Ellen herself also faced intense criticism, with claims that she could be cold, distant, and dismissive off camera. She later addressed the controversy publicly on her show and promised changes would be made. But by that point, the damage to her reputation had already spread everywhere. The show continued for 2 more seasons before officially ending in 2022, which Ellen described as a creative decision rather than a forced exit. But a lot of people never fully bought that explanation. Still, the workplace scandal was actually the easiest controversy for the public to understand because there were reports, investigations, and named sources attached to it. What became harder for people to figure out were Ellen's connections to certain powerful celebrities and industry figures. For years, Sean Combs was a regular guest on her show, and the two appeared extremely friendly on camera. Back then, it all looked like harmless celebrity chemistry, but after later allegations surrounding his private life became public, people started re-examining old interviews and moments much more closely. There were stories about huge celebrity parties, followed by more exclusive late-night gatherings often referred to online as freak-offs. At the time, some of Ellen's comments during interviews were brushed off as jokes, but looking back now, critics online have questioned whether she may have been been more aware of certain rumors than viewers realized. Things escalated in September 2024 when Sean Combs was arrested and faced serious federal charges, including allegations tied to trafficking and racketeering investigations. Once more details started surfacing in court, people online rushed back to rewatch old interviews and clips, including Sean Combs' appearances on Ellen's show. Suddenly, moments that once seemed playful or harmless started getting picked apart frame by frame, with viewers questioning the tone of certain conversations and jokes. Their connection also appeared closer than just a normal celebrity talk show relationship. Back in 2016, Ellen even posted a birthday message calling him Cuddle McSnugglestuff and added, "You don't need to know why," which has since sparked even more curiosity and speculation online.
What time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Then the after party.
No, I know about them.
That post started raising even more eyebrows once Sean Combs' legal troubles became public knowledge. Later, when paparazzi tried asking Ellen about him directly, she reportedly stayed completely silent, got into her car, and drove away without responding to any questions. Since then, she has avoided publicly speaking about him altogether, which only added more speculation online. At the same time, the Jeffrey Epstein case has continued drawing worldwide attention as more court records, flight logs, emails, and names connected to powerful social circles have been discussed publicly. Because of that, internet users have started re-examining celebrity connections and old media clips much more intensely than before. One viral moment came from a 2025 Joe Rogan podcast episode featuring Aaron Rodgers, where Rodgers pointed out what he believed was a strange visual similarity between Epstein's island temple and the colorful set design from Ellen's show. Side-by-side screenshots quickly spread across social media because some viewers thought the colors and layout looked oddly alike. Others argued it was probably just a coincidence, but the clip still exploded online and fueled even more discussion. By that point, people online were already heavily questioning Ellen, so clips, rumors, and old connections were getting way more attention than they probably would have before. But what really caught people's attention were the tragic events involving individuals closely connected to her world. Within just a few months of each other, 2 people tied to Ellen became the center of emotional public conversations. To understand the first situation, people often go all the way back to 1997, when Ellen publicly came out on national television in a moment that became a major cultural headline. Around that same time, she started dating actress Anne Heche, who was quickly becoming one of Hollywood's rising stars. Anne had not publicly spoken about her sexuality before, so the relationship instantly placed her under intense media attention as well. The backlash at the time was massive, and reports over the years stated that Anne's career opportunities were heavily affected after the relationship became public. While Ellen eventually rebuilt her television career and returned to mainstream success, Anne openly spoke in later interviews about the struggles, pressure, and fallout she experienced during those years.
5 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. Susan, I'm gay.
Their relationship lasted around 3 years, but over time it became clear they wanted very different futures. Anne later shared in interviews that she wanted a family and children, while Ellen was reportedly more focused on growing her career and expanding her success in entertainment. Those differences eventually led to their breakup in 2000. After the split, Anne faced a difficult period personally and professionally, while Ellen's career kept climbing higher. Just a few years later, Ellen launched her daytime talk show in 2003 and went on to build an enormous media empire worth millions. Even long after the relationship ended, Anne continued speaking publicly about how emotionally difficult that chapter of her life had been and how deeply it affected her career and personal struggles. What made the situation feel especially uncomfortable for some people online was the timing. Anne had recently been opening up again about her past with Ellen in a very raw and personal way, revisiting painful memories and experiences, and then not long afterward, her life took a tragic turn that sparked widespread attention and discussion. On August 5th, 2022, Anne Heche was driving through a Los Angeles neighborhood when the situation suddenly turned chaotic. According to witnesses and official reports, her car allegedly accelerated, crashed into a garage, pulled back out, and then sped into a nearby home at high speed. The impact was devastating, with the vehicle ending up deep inside the house as a massive fire quickly erupted around the crash site. Firefighters reportedly spent close to an hour battling flames and trying to safely reach her inside the wreckage. Then came the moment that stunned people watching the footage unfold online and on the news. As emergency crews carried her away on a stretcher, Anne suddenly appeared to sit upright and move while still conscious, creating a wave of shock and confusion among viewers. Sadly, that moment was brief. Reports stated that she lost consciousness soon after being placed into the ambulance and never regained it. Anne was later removed from life support on August 14th after being declared brain dead. She was 53 years old. Official findings listed smoke inhalation, severe burns, and crash-related injuries as the causes of death. Authorities publicly ruled the incident an accident and stated there was no confirmed evidence showing intentional harm. Even with the official explanation, the tragic circumstances and dramatic sequence of events left many people online continuing to debate and question the situation long afterward. For many people, the timing felt especially emotional because Anne had recently been speaking openly about how much her relationship with Ellen affected her life and career. And then suddenly, she was gone with those conversations still fresh in the public's mind. Just 4 months later, another heartbreaking loss connected to Ellen's world shocked people again. Stephen, Twitch boss, had also passed away. Twitch became a huge part of the Ellen DeGeneres show after joining in 2014 as the show's DJ. Over the years, his role grew much bigger, eventually becoming co-executive producer and one of the most beloved and recognizable personalities connected to the entire show.
Connie last texted with Stephen on Monday, December 12, 2022. She says it was an ordinary conversation. They talked about work and his children's Christmas list. The next morning, Connie says, she got a phone call from his wife, Allison Holker, asking if she had heard from him. Hours later, he was found dead in a hotel room with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Connie's brother, Alan, told her the terrible news.
And I just remember Alan saying, Connie, he's gone. And I just dropped.
For many people, Anne Hecher's death already felt deeply unsettling because she had recently been speaking so openly about how her relationship with Ellen changed the course of her life. Then, only 4 months later, another heartbreaking tragedy connected to Ellen's world shocked the public again. Stephen, Twitch boss, was gone too. Since joining the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2014, Twitch had become one of the most recognizable and beloved faces on daytime television. What started as a DJ role eventually grew into him becoming co-executive producer, with viewers seeing him as the upbeat energy that helped carry the show every day. Connie, a close friend of Twitch, later shared that she last texted with him on Monday, December 12, 2022. According to her, the conversation seemed completely normal. They talked about work, family life, and even his children's Christmas wish lists. The next morning, she reportedly received a call from his wife, Allison Holker, asking if she had heard from him. Hours later, devastating news broke when authorities confirmed that Twitch had died in a Los Angeles hotel room from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Connie later recalled her brother Alan delivering the painful news, saying, "Connie, he's gone." For years, viewers mostly saw Twitch as the smiling, dancing personality who brought non-stop energy and positivity to Ellen's show. But when the toxic workplace allegations surrounding the program exploded in 2020, he was suddenly placed in a difficult and very public position. His image and career had become closely connected to the show, while accusations about the workplace environment were dominating headlines everywhere. Walking away would have meant leaving behind a huge part of the career he spent years building, so he stayed and publicly defended his experience. At one point he stated, "Obviously there's some things to address, but from my standpoint and from countless others, there's been love." Even while the show faced backlash and criticism online, Twitch continued appearing on screen with the same smile and high-energy audiences knew him for. Later reports and interviews suggested that the pressure and uncertainty may have weighed heavily on him behind the scenes. When the show officially ended in 2022, there were reports that he quietly hoped to move into a larger hosting role in daytime television, but those opportunities reportedly never fully came together. According to comments shared publicly by his wife, discussions about future projects did not lead anywhere, leaving him facing an uncertain next chapter after dedicating so much of his life to the show.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say The past 11 days have been really tough for everyone. Everyone is in pain and trying to make sense of it, and we'll never make sense of it. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other, and play games and dance and sing. That's the way we honor him.
In the months that followed, people close to Twitch began sharing that something had quietly changed behind the scenes. He was reportedly dealing with personal struggles that even close friends and family may not have fully recognized at the time. From the outside, his life appeared successful and full of joy. He was only 40 years old, had a loving family, a major television career, and a public image built around positivity and energy. That is exactly why his passing left so many people completely stunned and searching for answers. In a memoir released in 2025, Alison Holker shared that she discovered substances among his personal belongings after his death that she said she had not known about before. However, some members of Twitch's family publicly pushed back against those claims. An official report stated that toxicology findings did not show substances in his system at the time of his death. Despite the disagreements surrounding certain details, nearly everyone close to the situation agreed on one thing. Twitch had not publicly shown obvious signs that something was seriously wrong, which made the tragedy feel even more heartbreaking and difficult for many people to process. While the public remained focused on the controversies, losses, and growing speculation connected to Ellen's world, Ellen herself was also building another major source of wealth behind the scenes. Beyond television, she became heavily involved in luxury real estate, buying and selling massive properties for enormous profits. She once described house flipping as more of a hobby, but reports painted a much bigger picture. Over the years, Ellen and Portia reportedly bought and sold at least 34 luxury homes, earning an estimated $190 million in profits, with returns averaging roughly 37% per property. Even Ellen herself has admitted that she eventually lost track of how many real estate deals she completed over the years. Her luxury properties reportedly attracted major celebrity buyers, including names like Ariana Grande, Ryan Seacrest, and Scooter Braun. One massive sale alone reportedly earned around $26 million in profit, showing just how huge her property business had become behind the scenes. For some people, this also connected back to comments Anne Heche made years earlier about the differences in what they wanted out of life. Anne often spoke about wanting deeper personal connections and eventually building a family, while Ellen appeared intensely focused on expanding her career, business ventures, and overall empire. Looking back now, many people online still point to that contrast when discussing their relationship and why it eventually fell apart. Things reportedly became even more complicated after Ellen relocated to the UK. In 2024, she purchased a farm property in the Cotswolds and reportedly pushed for fast renovations by bringing in large crews of workers to speed up construction and upgrades. Local reports claimed the sudden activity caused disruption in the quiet area, especially as rumors spread that the property might later be flipped for profit. Then, additional problems reportedly followed. Flooding allegedly affected parts of the property, with some reports mentioning concerns involving untreated sewage water nearby. Local events were also reportedly disrupted over safety worries, while questions surfaced about whether certain building work had been completed without all the proper permissions in place. Even though the situation reportedly did not lead to major legal action, many neighbors were still said to be frustrated by everything happening around the property. Ellen later moved into another nearby home, but that decision also sparked criticism from some locals, who described the style and atmosphere of the property as cold and disconnected from the area's traditional charm. Still, Ellen publicly spoke very positively about her new life in England, even saying, "It's clean and everything here is just better. I just love it here," making it sound like she had completely embraced the move overseas. She also made comments about politics that gave many people the impression she had no real interest in returning to the United States anytime soon. But for critics online, certain moments from her past made those statements feel complicated. Back in 2019, Ellen faced backlash after being photographed spending time socially with someone whose political views many believed clashed with the values she often promoted publicly. When criticism exploded online, she did not back away from it or issue an apology. Instead, she defended the interaction and argued that people with different opinions should still be able to connect respectfully. That response created a lot of debate and led some critics to accuse her of saying one thing publicly while living differently behind the scenes. After speaking so enthusiastically about her fresh start in the UK, the move reportedly did not last as smoothly as expected. Within months, people close to the situation claimed things began shifting. Friends reportedly visited less often, Portia was said to be interested in focusing on acting opportunities again, and managing work and relationships across different time zones allegedly became increasingly difficult. The peaceful countryside lifestyle that once looked picture perfect suddenly did not seem quite so perfect anymore. So in early 2026, Ellen made yet another major move and returned to California, reportedly purchasing a massive $27 million mansion in Montecito. Just like that, the image of permanently leaving America behind appeared to completely change, even after more than a year of publicly praising her new life overseas. For many people watching from the outside, that sudden shift seemed to highlight the bigger pattern surrounding Ellen's public image over the years. There was the "be kind" message that built her brand, the toxic workplace controversy that damaged it, the political statements that sparked debate, and then the unexpected return to the very place she once said she was leaving behind. All of it has left people continuing to question which version of Ellen was the real one all along. If you made it this far, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Drop your thoughts in the comments below because people still have a lot to say about this story, and I want to hear what you think too.